Hello, it's me, Rose. I shall be doing some shiny hunting. I do want to let y'all know, I was able to get the amount of cricket tots that I needed. And I shall show y'all what I wanted to talk about. Because what I was reminding myself to do. Because I was like, future me, remember this. I wanted to talk about the shiny koraidon miraidon event happening in different parts of the world. And I mean, if you're aware of this event, I'm sure you've all heard how poorly it's been handled so far. Quick side note, I'm now shiny hunting. I don't think you can really see. You can't really see, but I'm shiny hunting tepig right now. Let me show too the shiny Pokemon that I got. So as you can see, here's the shiny Kricketot. This one is the smallest one, and I was gonna pick the smallest one, right? But I saw that if I want to do like the full shiny living dex with the gender differences, that was the only female other Kricketot that I needed. And so I had to get just like the extra one that I got. It doesn't make any sense. Let me show. Because the extra one I got was a boy, and it is average size, like a perfectly average specimen. Oh, also look at my little, I have, because it's getting to be that time of year where it's getting cold, and I have cat socks and steeways. That event, right? Crazy. I don't know, I'm sure if you know, you've heard that day one of the event, I forget which day, let's say it was like September 26th, it started. Same day, most, definitely not all, but most of the GameStops that were in the US that were handing out the codes ran out. Like not even within hours. How's that possible? Look, I don't know. I mean, people have had a lot of critiques about it, and I have my own, which I'm sure many are on the same page. You know what I should have done? I should have gotten the 60. I know I was saying that before, but whatever, you know. If you've been watching, you know the vibes here. It's chill. Oh, you know what? I did get the Ruinous Quartet going, you know. I got the shiny, look at them. Shiny to you. That's like one of the things, right? So with shiny koraidon miraidon, why is it that they didn't do Terra raid events to hand them out? And that it would have been like such a better option, much better option. Chiyu was swimming around me. Oh, that's so nice. Anyway, my experience, fortunately I didn't go out and about to see firsthand physically if they were out, because you don't want to waste the time, energy, and all that rigmarole. Thought I saw a shiny Tyrogue. It was not. Just for clarification. But yeah, instead of actually going, because that day that it released, I was looking to see how other people's experiences have been going. Which, another thing to mention, I had seen online that there were people that got their, or what's it called? Their raidons before the event was supposed to release or start, and people were like, with like, you know, great, happy for you, you know, great, happy for you, that one. But it was also like, hey, shouldn't that like not be allowed because it's supposed to be on this date, not the date prior? And you know, good point. um which goes back to the criticism about this event, is that it was just a big whoopsie daisy, a big fucko boingo on multiple levels. And I kind of agree. I saw some other people mentioning that it's also less accessible for people that you have various reasons that they can't physically go to a store. Whether there's no store near them, they can't drive, you know, or, you know, public transportation is an issue. What else? You know, if you're physically even able to, like maybe you have disabilities where you just can't go to a physical store. And you know what? That's all really good points. I don't know, not that I keep up to date with GameStop to see how well they're doing, but I guess you can kind of just see anecdotally with your own personal experience. I don't think too many people go to GameStop anymore, and it's going the way of Blockbuster, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I don't know. Maybe there's some pros to it, but there's probably also cons, balance, if you will. I'm not even gonna count. I just want to talk to y'all. I'm just gonna go to the point where it's like, oh, it looks like there's not many left. What do you do? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, I like when you think about it in that lens, that some people just can't even go to the store for like various reasons. It's like, yeah, you know what? Why would they do that? It's kind of messed up. That some people would be left out like that. And I guess people could make the argument that that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But you know, we just had an event with the Ruinous Quartet. They could play the game and get the shiny Pokemon. It was like a community thing. Everyone had to come together and defeat the Ruinous Quartet, and you know, keeping track of how many of the Pokemon were defeated and all that, and that was nice. The big issue too, that I'm sure a lot of you are aware of, is the scalpers. Which scalpers are just a problem everywhere, which is really unfortunate. It happened with the sleep token at concerts. I'm pretty sure it just happens to every concert. Any place where a scalper can scalp, a scalper will scalp. It's almost like, oh, like there is no like constant. The only constant is like change. Well, the only constant is scalpers will scalp. If they can, which many find a way. But you know what's really unfortunate too with this raidon event is that people have been falling for the scalping because they've been buying, they've been paying money to get these legitimate raidons from the card code. But yeah, anyway, so with like the stores near me, I just called and I was like, are the codes still there? Like, are they in stock? And all the stores that I called, they were like, yeah, we're out. Like, sorry. And you know what? I'm glad I called, and instead of going to see myself, they're out. Okay, like I wasted time. You know, like it's not like they can just well, to my knowledge, it's not like they can just print a card in the store itself and be like, here you go, you know? There's distributors and things like that. But yeah, this event, I'm sure a lot of people were disappointed. I'm quite sure a lot of people were disappointed. The other thing too, I'm somewhat of a shiny hunter myself, is that's the only legitimate way to get those shinies. They're shiny locked. So what do you do when you can't legitimately get the shiny through this event? You know, here's another thing. People are saying to submit a ticket, right? And complain, criticize, express how poorly like the event was handled, how like low the stock was for the cards and such. And I decided to do one myself because I feel like that's probably about the best way to do something, you know? Kind of, I'm gonna put in a strong review, a 1-star review. But let me tell you, the response I got with my complaint support ticket, it was just an automated response, which I saw online as well, additionally to also that everyone else got the exact same automated response, which was something along the lines of like, oh, just to clarify, this event is free, like you're not supposed to pay anything. If you want to find more information on this, like, go here to this link. Have a good day. Oh, okay. That's all. That's all. And then they didn't mention anything about like, oh, there will be restocking or something, or there will be a second wave of codes coming out. Sit tight or whatever. I had heard that some people that do put in those tickets / complain through the ticket, that they sometimes receive a code through the email to get the Pokemon. But I don't think for this event / case that happened. I don't know if anyone got, hey, if you got a code like that through complaining through one of the support tickets, let me know. I'm curious as to how your experience was. But yeah, which to that automated response, right? They were saying that it's not paid, but I had heard as well that some GameStops were requiring that you pay before getting a code. But in the event description, to explain how the event's gonna go down, you don't have to pay anything. There's no purchase necessary. So why is it that some GameStops are doing that? And like I had even seen that someone like commented that they weren't gonna get the code unless they did like a purchase of like $150 or something like that. It was like, what? I don't know. What's happening here? So that goes along the lines of like, there was a lot of mess ups from all different levels. I don't know. My experience personally went quite poo-poo, but the community has been banding together to do a big poo-poo to you, to that Pokemon company. The Pokemon company. The third Pokemon company. And they've been cloning the shiny miraidon koraidons from the ones that have been distributed through the code, because people have been saying that those Pokemon that come from the code, they're basically all clones as well. So if you clone a Pokemon from that, I'm not sure how the whole process goes. I don't clone Pokemon, I don't gen Pokemon or anything. But it's like the game can't tell the difference because they're like the exact same. And I don't think the exact same as like, oh, they were made like separately, but they look the same. Like it is literally the same Pokemon. Just it's cloned. It's cloned. And they've just been giving them away to people that have been eating their shiny raidons. I can understand the outrage that some fans have been feeling, because like I was saying, this is the only way to get a legitimate shiny koraidon miraidon. My other critique too, me personally, is I'm tired of these events going on and you can only receive one Pokemon. You don't get like the pair. Like for this particular case, why is it that we only get one raidon? Why don't we get the pair, you know? Because then it goes back to the whole GameStop thing, right? Hear me out. I remember in the past when there was like cards being handed out, previous to like Sword Shield, to clarify, because I don't think I was really all up in the card code business during Sword Shield. I kind of fell off that game, but I'm going back to it eventually. But anyway, you can only get one card. So what am I gonna do to get the other Pokemon? Because I want to keep the Pokemon that I got from the card. Am I supposed to trade the one that I want to get the other Pokemon? What do I do, you know? I guess you could like give up another Pokemon, trade another that someone's looking for, but you know, how many people I guess have access to do that? I know in this like day and age of technology, it is perhaps easier, but you know, for some people it still isn't. I don't know. People have their different opinions on the whole event. Which I did see some people were like, oh, people are complaining about receiving a free Pokemon. And I can't really see that. I think it's just like, what's the term? I forget the term. But basically, I'll just say it's just like rubbing salt in the wound. Like, that's the only legitimate way to get that shiny Pokemon. Any other way is illegitimate and or illegal if you're scalping and selling the Pokemon. So like, what do you do? And I think in a larger sense, a lot of people have heard that the Pokemon company doesn't care about its consumers and the like. But look, I'm personally not a happy camper. But at the same time, I guess it is what it is. Like, you just gotta roll with the punches. And me personally, yeah, I don't want to pay for a shiny Pokemon. So I was fortunate enough to get some shiny Miraidon Koraidons from giveaways from very generous people. And I think that's nice in a perhaps innocent, naive way of like, oh, that's so nice. The community's coming together, banding together against this company that doesn't really care about us. They really only care about money. I mean, what company doesn't care about money? I don't know. I think that's the silver sandwich, though, is that the community was coming together about the issue. I don't know. Say what you want, but I do love me community efforts to help the community rise. We gonna be okay. We gonna be okay. Imagine this whole time I've been talking to y'all and I missed a shiny tepig. Whoops. But yeah, let me know your experience. Um, I'm sure it was something similar. I mean, if you were like the lucky few that was able to get a card, you know what? I'm glad that you were able to. Because there's been a lot of rigmarole going on about the card events. And I heard that there's like, I guess, a new wave going to, is it Brazil? I think. And I think also Italy. They're releasing those card codes to those places. So I hope people there have a nicer time than people did in the US. But yeah, I don't know. The event was handled quite doo doo, but for a lack of better terms. I'm just trying not to. There are not many tepig like from the original outbreak. I don't know. Is that enough? We'll just do like 10 more. One. There's like no tepig around. This is that thing where there's like, oh, pools of water. We're going to spawn in every Pokemon that you don't want right now. Have fun. That's okay. I've been in worse spots to shiny hunt for Pokemon. Worse-er. Better. I don't know. I think that's really about it that I want to talk about with the shiny miraidon koraidon. I don't know. I think I'm just more chill about it now. I was less chill about it day of, cause like I was saying, like the cars went like hours, not even hours, minutes, and they were all out. And I've heard some other people. Well, I guess I'm not done talking. I'm just waffling, you know the deal. I heard some people were saying that the employees at GameStop, which, not to like say, I wasn't even counting, girl. I'm the tepigs are all going to die, and I'm not even gonna notice. But the other thing, right, that occurred is that this event was at the same time as them releasing cards, uh, trading game cards at GameStop. So the people that were the scalpers, and I guess, true chill fans that want those cards, were waiting in line already, right? And the other thing, so it's that, right? And then on top of that, the people that were buying the trading cards were given the miraidon little code without even being asked like if they want it or not, or like just unprovoked. Like the person going up to the counter didn't even have to say, hey, can I get this like miraidon card code? it would just be like, oh, okay, here's one. Oh, okay, here's one. And I don't know, I've heard people like asking for even more, like 10, which I'm not sure why you'd need 10 unless you were like trying to do like friends or family far away, like a solid, but I'm not sure. Which kind of goes back to the issue of like, you know, just get like 1 or 2 max. I don't know. I really genuinely thought that there would be more stock. I mean, it's just like a little piece of paper, a little code, you know? I personally, to have it all work out nicely, because you know, I do like me my cherish balls. So I wouldn't have minded it being a mystery gift with a cherish ball, and you get the pair, koraidon, miraidon, in a cherish ball. Boom. That would have been nice. Problem solved. People were also hoping, banking on, wondering if the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, Nintendo would do an apology and distribute the Pokemon through like a mystery gift or do like some sort of raid event, but y'all, I don't think that's happening. I'm gonna be for real. Very unfortunate. I hope if you're still trying to find a shiny miraidon, koraidon, that you're able to get it without having to pay any money. And if you're hoping that you don't even have to get it cloned or genned, that you do manage to get 1 or 2, you know. It's a little difficult being a Pokemon fan in these trying times. Would you like an egg in these trying times? But anyway, time to start actually picnic resetting. I don't know. That's really it. But I am happy, unrelated, more back to like the Ruinous Quartet, that I do have them. I think they're very nice. Which I haven't even, to be honest, I haven't even completed getting just the regular ones in my game yet. I think I've only gotten Wu Qian. I have a Qian Pao, but that was gifted to me by a friend. They didn't want it. They were like resetting their game, if I remember correctly. And I was like, I'll take it. Let's see. Maybe if I spawn around here, not spawn, stand around here and respawn the Pokemon, it'll be less water Pokemon and more tepigs. I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, did you notice I have my comforter going? It's a different shade than my sheets. Don't clock that, okay? Took me a bit to find sheets that I wanted. And the comfort that came with it was like, I forget, it was like feathers, and when I had the comforter was a lot of feathers kept coming out, and I just didn't like that, so I traded it, returned it for a different comforter from somewhere else. And it was supposed to be the same color, but it's not like 1-to-1 exact same. This one is more dull, like the sheets themselves, and then this one is more vibrant. Me personally, I want the more vibrant color, but like, you know, you take what you can get. I don't know. I don't know. Basking in the ambulance. Basking in the ambulance. That's what I thought, that's what the term phrase was. Not basking in the ambience. Basking in the ambulance. The wee wee wee. I don't know. That's just what I thought it was. That's how I heard it when I was a kid. But then I was wrong. I had learned, and I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. Why would I bask in an ambulance? I don't think anyone basks in an ambulance. It didn't make sense to me as a kid. So then to learn that, I was like, oh, you know what? I understand now. Louder, louder. Man. Looking, I feel like I have to, you know, that episode in SpongeBob where Patrick is like focusing and his eyes are woo, 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 woo. I feel like that's me looking at these small Pokemon in the distance. Look at that. Can you even see? Look at those tepigs far out in the distance. That is so hard to see. But it's okay. I really do hope to get 3 tepigs. Because man, you know Embor, the shiny? What can I say? I love me my blue fire. Like, you know, I'll even go as far as to say I liked Azula a bit as a kid growing up just because she had blue fire. Like, it's a blue fire, like that's really cool. I don't know, you like, what am I supposed to do? She's really cool. She has a blue fire. Another I love blue fire example, Hateno Village. Hateno Village. Have y'all seen how cozy that village is with the blue fire? Like, enough said. I just really like blue fire. I wish blue fire existed. It does exist, of course, but in the way like Hateno Village made it, you know? Because isn't blue fire supposed to be really hot? I think it's like red and then it's like blue fire and then white fire, I think, is like really hot. So it'd be kind of impractical to have like really hot fire. Or like if you had little candles and it was blue fire, it would be kind of difficult. Another thing I know that you can do is you can burn certain materials to make a different color fire. Like if you burned like sodium or something, I forget. There's like other things. This used to be like a old school chemistry thing that I learned where it's like you burn certain materials and it comes out in a different color fire. Like if you burn phosphorus or something. But then if you had, let's say, like a different colored fire candle specifically, I've heard that just candles, like scented candles, aren't really good for you health-wise. Because you're burning off that wax, and where does the wax go? You know, I saw an example too where it looked like to be a different color on the walls and the ceiling, and it's like, oh, so like obviously it's burning the stuff away, like it's going in your lungs and all those different chemicals. I don't know. And I think it's like if you want to have candles, you should just have regular beeswax candles, like the plainest candles you can get, like, and I think that's okay. But the scented candle industry, the scented candle industry is I don't know. I just haven't been the same after learning about that. I don't know. Which is a shame because I do like scented things and I do think candles can be nice. And you know, I've seen all those different special little candles that they have. Like they have candles that look like cupcakes. They have candles that look like bars of soap. They have candles that look like Pokemon, you know. I think that's nice, but then I could never light it up. I could never light it up for like health reasons, but also I wouldn't be able to light it up personally because I just wouldn't want the design to melt away. Which I guess like that's the whole point, like you're gonna want to burn it. But I don't know, some people like to preserve what they buy instead of using it. Like more of a collector's mentality than buy it to use it mentality. Or I don't know. I don't know. Basking in the ambulance. Basking in the ambulance. No shiny tepig yet. Of course, as always, me when I don't get a shiny within 0.1 seconds. Grr, grr. Oh, you know, let me show y'all. For a bit, I don't know if I'll change it up. And I have not picked these Pokemon for competitive reasons or any sort of like, is this good for like fighting or anything? I just picked what looked pleasing aesthetically. I will have to evolve the Petalil, but this is the team I have going on right now. That's shiny Meloetta, shiny Chiyu, shiny Wuqian, shiny Hydrapple, shiny Petalil, and a shiny Mimikyu. I love them all. And it's for like my personal collection. They're not gonna be the ones from the shiny living decks that I'm curating as we speak. Did I ask how y'all are doing today? This evening? How are y'all doing? Let me know your day. I'm gonna take a moment to be quiet and y'all tell me about your day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see. Yes. Was that really a moment of silence if I'm like, mm-hmm. I don't know. I just want to know y'all's days. Hope it's going good. I know a lot of people out here struggling. I hope it gets better, you know? You know, I be hearing like if you feel like you're in rock bottom, then the only way to go is up. Which I think, yeah, it's a nice sentiment. But it still stinks to be at rock bottom. Advanced darkness. So I hope soon you can get out of advanced darkness if you are going through it. And if you're having a swell, grand old time, I hope you can enjoy it for as long as you can. Because, you know, life has its ebbs and flows and all that. And some points in life are going to be great, and some points in life are going to be not so great. That's okay. I mean, in the moment, it doesn't feel okay. But, you know, such is life. You just gotta roll with the punches, I guess. But if you are sitting in advanced darkness right now, it's okay to chill here. Just take a moment, rest, relax, recuperate before you gotta go out there. Light your bonfire. If I had glasses still, I'd be like, light your bonfire. Do you want to light your bonfire in this? Over here in this little corner. In this corner of the internet. Shout out to Internet Pit Stop. I do like his videos. Very cool videos. Very silly too. I love how he edits himself, like with the little scenarios of like there's like this scene and he put himself like in the sky, like flying or something. It's so whimsical and silly. No shiny tepig yet. That is okay. I shall keep hunting, and I shall let you know of my endeavors later on. But I guess I'm done talking. I just wanted to chat a bit about the shiny miraidon koraidon event. and I have done so. So that's it. I hope you have a nice day, evening, wherever you are. Anyway, goodbye.